Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. Today, while I was at an important award ceremony, I was skimming through my Facebook and I came across an article that's very disturbing. A case that involves another police shooting. Another one. How long will this continue? Here you had a situation out of North Miami where apparently someone had called the police and they reported that someone had a gun and they were threatening to commit suicide. It turns out that no one had a gun. In fact, it turns out that an autistic man had a toy truck in his hand. And when the police arrived on the scene, there was another man there who was a caretaker, who is a caretaker for people with disabilities, people with autism, and he was a caretaker for the young man that had the toy truck in his hand. So when the police arrived, the black man who's the caretaker, he actually laid on the ground because the police had their guns drawn and all that kind of stuff. He laid on the ground and he put his hands in the air. Had his hands in the air. I mean, it reminds me of the situation with Mike Brown. This brother had his hands in the air. He was laying on the ground, and he actually had the autistic man sit down on the ground. So apparently it's clear that this brother posed no threat to the police. His hands are in the air, he's laying on the ground, and he's telling the police that he's there to help this autistic person, that that's his job to help people like that, people that reside at this home for individuals with disabilities. So he has his hands in the air, and the police proceed to shoot this brother. Despite all of that, despite the fact that he posed no threat, he was unarmed, he was in a position that made it clear that he wasn't a threat, but the police shot him anyway. But for the grace of God, this brother lived. And he lived to tell his story, to let the world know exactly what happened. Also, it was captured on video. I will include a link when I get a chance to in the description box so that you can watch the video for yourself. And after they shot this brother, they flipped him over and put handcuffs on him. A man who's unarmed, posing zero threat. See, this is another example of what we're talking about. People want us to have respect for the police, but yet things like this continue to happen. People wonder why there's hostility towards the police when incidents like this continue to happen. How many times must this occur before we finally wake up and take action? How many black men and women must be killed or hurt by these police before we finally wake the hell up and take action and get organized?